Hello and welcome back. Today we are discussing an important topic that affects billions of people daily: clean water. Clean water is a basic human right. However, in developing countries, thousands of people, including children, die from contaminated drinking water. About 3.2 million children die every year from contaminated drinking water and poor sanitation. To discuss some of the major health factors is Lucas. He's a Canadian doctor who has been studying the effects of contaminated water on third world countries.
In many developing countries, access to clean water is extremely difficult and expensive. For these reasons, people are traveling great distances to where they only have access to dirty, bacteria, and disease-filled water. In most cases, people can strengthen their immune systems by exposure to bacteria and viruses within their water supply. Their body becomes immune to the effects of the bacteria. However, water contains other contaminants that are deadly to human health. Many bacteria, such as cholera and typhoid fever, live in these water and ecosystems and have severe symptoms that are dangerous to human health. After water has been retrieved from a source, stored water is exceptional breeding grounds for mosquitoes. They can carry diseases such as malaria that are extremely dangerous to humans. Over time, people exposed to diseases can develop chronic long-term effects such as cancer and liver-kidney problems. Currently, over $7.3 million has been spent on healthcare for waterborne diseases globally. Many organizations, such as UNICEF, has been contributing to the aid of this issue by providing medication and hospital services for people in developing countries who can't afford proper treatment. They are in need of your donations to continue to support these people. Thank you.
We will now hear from Keaton, an environmentalist who will explain how water becomes contaminated and what we can do to prevent and treat it.
Water can become dangerously contaminated in many ways. Rising sea levels caused by global warming can invade water sources and cause the water to be undrinkable. In many countries, sewage is not properly disposed of and is often simply dumped into a water source. Domestic and industrial waste is released into lakes and rivers and is not able to decompose. Farmers also use pesticides to help develop their crops, which can then be washed away by rain or soaked into groundwater and end up in water supplies. Flooding can also wash unwanted substances and materials into the water supply. There are many causes of contaminated water that are difficult to reverse but can be prevented by human actions. Contaminated water affects more than just drinking water. It can have a domino effect on an entire nation. Food production and agriculture relies on clean water. Increased diseases and pollutants within the water supply impact the crop's development in an area. Water is needed for food security, as well as this decrease in food quality and quantity has health and economic factors that lead to poverty in developing countries. About 209 of India's 3,119 towns have sewage and garbage dumped into bodies of water. About 300 million liters of unwanted sewage is dumped into the Ganges River daily. It is extremely dangerous and is the world's sixth most populated river. This is an example of how we must work together to sustain the Earth's natural water supplies. Some ways that communities have been increasing the cleanliness of their water is through rainwater barrels, sewage ponds, and wells to access clean water. The Water Project builds wells in Africa for poor communities, school areas, and on farms. Each well costs about $8,000 and takes 1 to 2 days to build. You can find out more information and donate to thewaterproject.org.
The United Nations organization was created to help people in developing countries. Contaminated drinking water is becoming an increasingly severe issue. The United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development involves goals to ensure a safe and sustainable supply of drinking water for all. Under Goal 6, they are trying to improve the management and quality of resources, especially in communities with women and children. They are trying to provide access to safe and affordable water for drinking, sanitation, and hygiene purposes. They are trying to protect and restore all water-related ecosystems. Over the years, Canada has raised money to help support the water supply in developing countries. Between 2005 and 2017, over $40 million was raised for the African Water Facility to support water infrastructure. In 2011 to 2018, Canada donated $17.9 million to improve water access to schools and communities in Ghana. The Canadian government began raising money in 2015 to access groundwater in Peru and Bolivia. Currently, they have raised about $17 million for food security innovation. World Water Day is on March 22nd. We are looking for your help to raise awareness and encourage donations to ensure a safe and sustainable supply of drinking water for all. Thank you.